closed right now. The only way you are allowed to be in here is on a guided tour. So what you're doing right now. Now for this reason, you have to stay as close together as possible when going between the different rooms so that security knows that you are on a tour and not meandering on your own, in which case you might get out. So, welcome again to the Parliament building. Now, just a little bit closer, I want to use this picture for illustrative purposes. This building is quite old, especially for British Columbia. It's 114 years old. We began constructing it in 1893, completed it by 1897. It's only taking about 4 years to build. Well, everything you see here is built originally. So if you were standing on the precinct right now, basically everything that's in front of you is original. Now the only thing missing, you may notice, are stones in the back. And that's because there is an expansion period in 1912 in which time we added legislative libraries to the back of the building. Now, this wasn't always the government building for the area. We did always have government buildings here for our government. But before we had 3 smaller, what we call bird cages. Now we just called them this because they look slightly strange. If you look to the front of this picture, you can see the last standing one. There's a little black house here. Well, at one point it got to be too small to hold our growing administration. And so we held an international contest in order to find a new architect with new ideas for government buildings. We searched far and wide and finally found our winner. It was Mr. Francis Mawson Rattenbury. Has anyone heard the name Rattenbury before?
No.
Few people? Okay, excellent. He did become quite a successful architect in this area. Beyond this, he actually also constructed the Empress Hotel. He also constructed the CPR steamship terminal, which is still on our harbor. It's now being renovated, so it looks slightly different. If anyone's into Vancouver, he also made the Greater Vancouver Art Gallery, which originally was meant to be courthouses. Now, when he won this contest, one thing we did not know about him was a little personal detail, and it was that he was only 25 years old.